And I remember being a child, and my parents have been together for what, like 28 years now, like a long time. They're very opposite people. They're very back and forth in their relationship because they're just fundamentally different people, but they have the same moral values. And I remember being 10 and I asked my mom, I said, because they were fighting every day. My parents were fighting every day. And I heard them arguing, and I was in bed, and I got out of bed and I went into the living room, and I literally was like, you guys just need to get a divorce. You know, like little me being a little sassy thing. I was like, I'm done hearing this fighting. I'm trying to sleep. And
this is the complete opposite in my life. It was like me crying, being like, stop fighting, love each other.
See, I was like, just break up. I can't. And literally, I was like, when are you going to get a divorce? And they were both just so quiet, and they were just like, go back to bed, Jack. And as an adult, I asked my mom about this experience, and I was like, you and dad were not getting along for years. Like, why did you stay in that relationship? Like, it wasn't healthy for either of you. And I remember my mom saying to me, she's like, Jack, whether you're in a relationship or you're loving yourself, like, love is a choice. There's the act of being in love, and then there's the act of like giving love. And part of giving love is the choice to wake up every day and being open to what that means and what that is and what that looks like. And, you know, she said everyone's relationship with themselves is different. Everyone's relationship with their partners is different. And everyone has their own boundaries and their own experiences of what is okay and not okay within that and what that looks like. So no one can pass judgment on anyone's relationship, because what is my deal breaker might not be yours. And that's okay. And that's something that's really stuck with me, especially when I was learning to love myself, because what loving me looks like is different than what my sister loving herself looks like. You know, for me, self-love is being productive. For me, self-love is getting dressed right away and making sure that I get everything done I need to get done for the day in the morning so I can enjoy the rest of my day. For my sister, self-love is doing her nails and putting on a face mask and reading a book. For my brother, self-love is playing video games with his best friend and spending quality time with the people he cares about. You know, and it looks different for everyone, and it's unfair to pass judgment because it is a choice, and how you choose to express that love for yourself and other people is different, and the boundaries are different. And that doesn't mean one way is healthy and one way isn't unhealthy. And that doesn't mean that toxic relationships with yourself or other people are okay, because they're not. But it is a choice, and it's important to know that there is that choice to be made. And moving backwards, like, it comes down to choosing and understanding like how your actions impact other people and how they impact you, and how much that means to you, and what weight you yourself carry in that decision versus the person is going to affect.
Choose love is a phrase that I think can be transformative, right? Like, yeah. Shout out to Mama Clark for bestowing on that, because, you know, what is love to you, Jack? Like, what would be the definition of love, you know? And that's a hard question, even for me. I've been thinking so much lately that it is the balance, right? Because the balance is justice and harmony. And we are at war right now. There is a battle raging right now. It's so funny that I say that, because a shout out to Miriam Williamson, one of the 20 Democratic nominees for the 2020 presidential race. But no, she is definitely, there is a battle with love right now within the world. And just in that it's a choice, right, is empowering. I hope that people read Tub Love, or they think of me once I am gone and just think of love, right? They're like, that is it. That is, love is the path to our higher selves. I think it's the path to our progression as individuals, as the collective. There's so much power and magic within just love. That feeling of just where all things are right and a letting go of what is, letting go of the answers that we humans so desperately cling to.
I have two definitions of love. Like one is for myself. Well, I guess they're not different because, again, words of wisdom from my mom. She always used to get so frustrated with me for making decisions that, not that she disagreed with, because growing up it was very much, I'm going to tell you what I don't think you should do. And I'm going to tell you what I think you should do, but I'm not going to tell you what to decide. And if you get in trouble for what I told you not to do, it's your responsibility to get your ass out of that situation, kind of a deal. But I would make these choices and she would get so frustrated with me. And she would always say, why are you making choices for yourself that you would advise your best friend to not make? And she always used the phrase, be your own best friend first. And I think that's what self-love is. It's looking at yourself with objectivity and being your own best friend and being honest with yourself and saying, hey, you made that choice and that wasn't a good choice. Get yourself out of it. Or, hey, you're dating this person that if you were your own best friend, you would be like, get out of there now, And that is what self-love is. It is being your own best friend, being honest with yourself and making decisions in that is important to you, and to protect yourself and to be patient with yourself and love yourself in that process. And I think that's also what love in general is being open to carry space for you, being the best friend to your partner, being open to be vulnerable and be transparent. And I think it all starts with being your own best friend and telling yourself the things that you know are true, but you don't want to deal with.
Could you say that that is also another phrase for self-awareness?
Oh, for sure.
Or just awareness in general?
I don't know, because I feel like awareness is, I think in a way, yes, but I think awareness is knowing what's going on, but it's not necessarily taking action. You know what I mean? It's not, at least to me, awareness is not so much taking action, but just being like taking a roll call. I know this is going on. I know this is going on. I know this is going on. Whereas like being your own best friend first is telling yourself the things that you don't want to hear. Holding yourself accountable in the ways that your best friend would hold you accountable to doing the things you know you need to do, but you're avoiding doing anyway. I think there's like an activeness about being your own best friend that self-awareness doesn't bring. Because you can be aware, and not take action. I can be aware that sometimes when I get very upset, shut down and don't want to talk and remove myself from a situation without communicating to my partner, I need a couple minutes, But me being my own best friend in that situation is, Jack, man up and tell Haley you need a couple minutes, And I think that's the difference.